Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mga ka-review at welcome back sa ating munting channel. At ngayon nga po mga ka-review, ating pong pasadahan ang balitang ito mula po sa ating paboritong news files mga ka-review. Ito po yung nangyaring congressional hearing mga ka-review patungkol dyan sa Bucor. Nako po ERWIN Tulfo, UMAKSY0N, General Katapang at REMULLA, kapalpakan imbestigahan sa KAMARA. Yan mga ka-review, patungkol po riyan ang ating bibigyan ng reaksyon, komento or kritisismo kung meron man po, no? Pero bago ang lahat mga ka-review, kung bago ka pa lang at di pa po nakapag-subscribe sa ating munting channel, please don't forget to subscribe at i-click na rin po ang bell notification para updated ka po sa lahat ng ina-uploads nating reaction video. At eto na nga mga ka-review, laglagan na sa Bucor. Sama-sama sabay-sabay po natin pakinggan, panoorin at bigyan ng reaksyon ang balitang ito. Eto na po.
Wala ho kami pakialam kung ang gusto ho natin malaman ngayon at this point kaya tayo nandito, ano ho nangyayari dyan.
Nagkalaglagan na sa loob ng bilibi matapos tanungin ni Representative ERWIN Tulfo si General Katapang kung ano na nga ba ang nangyayari. Bakit hindi pa rin nakikita ang nawawalang PDL? Dapat sabihin ni General Katapang ang katotohanan dahil siya ang namumuno dito. Ang tanong ni Senator Tulfo, meron ba kayong tinatago dyan sa bilibi?
So wondering, I mean, we just want to find out the status of that inmate or the PDL that's missing. We don't want to hear actually, Mr. Chairman, what's going on inside the operations. Then we can talk about it. You were just simply asking, we want to find out where is Mr. KAL0K0HAN at this point. Is he still alive? Is he dead? It's already in the news report, sir. I mean, Mr. Chair, there's nothing to hide. Give us the fact, okay? Give us the truth. Is he dead? That's what we want to find out. Is he gone missing? Did he escape? Was he executed and buried in the septic tank? That's just what we need. Wala ho kami pakialam kung ang gusto ho natin malaman ngayon at this point kaya tayo nandito, ano ho nangyayari diyan, nasaan po yung tao, yun po yung concern natin. Siguro mamaya pwede niyo na ho ikwento na mga kung anong kinalaman diyan, bakit siya napatay, etc. All we want to find out, is he still alive? And I'm sure his family wants to know.
This presentation might be quite confidential in as much as this will divulge.
Yan mga ka-review, buti na lang nandito pala si Katapang at si Soji Boying Remulla. Akala ko po magkakasakit itong si di ba? Kasi di ba sa bawat investigasyon ng matataas na official mga ka-review, palaging may mga sakit ito. Pero buti na lang at hindi nagkasakit itong si Katapang
A lot of findings here, but I was comparing with our secretary if I will be allowed to present it in public in as much as these are secret documents.
Nako. Yan mga ka-review, magpapaalam daw po muna siya sa kanyang boss na si Soji Boying Remulla. Yan mga ka-review. Well, anyway, tama naman po yung ginagawa niya, di ba? Kailangan niya magpaalam. Kasi baka nga naman, mga ka-review baka nga naman, magkamali sila sa paglalabas ng mga script dyan, mga ka-review.
But if you will allow me, I can.
Are there security issues pertaining to the national security that will be divulged?
Not so much, but it
in
will.
that case, you can go ahead, sir.
It will affect our ongoing investigation, but for the purpose of being transparent, Your Honor, I am willing to.
It's the pleasure of the body with regards to this. If Secretary Remulla.
Mr. Chairman, some of the matters that will be revealed are not really being discussed openly by the Department of Justice because of the sensitivity of the information.
Nako isang PDL mga ka-review. Sensitive daw ang, di ba? Paano po naging sensitive? Yung tanong lang naman ni Senator Congressman ERWIN Tulfo, kung buhay pa ba, nasaan daw po yung PDL na yan? At sinasabi naman po ni Congressman Dan Fernandez, mga ka-review, na may kinalaman po ba ito sa national security? Nako, ang sagot po nila ay eto, nako po.
And I think that there may be some matters that should be only be revealed in executive session regarding this matter about this disappearance and the other things that transpired right after.
So are you suggesting that we form an executive session for the members of this committee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors. Hopefully, we can inform the members of the committee.
Thank you so much for that presentation, General Katapang. We know the audacious and the huge problem of the Bucor with the meager budget that being given to the facilities. We know that you are trying to congest the budget in order to address the perennial and so many problems that confronting the Bureau. But this committee would like to dwell not on that issue primarily, because the function of this Committee on Public Order and Safety is to find out the criminal elements that are being perpetrated inside the penitentiary. And that's the reason why we conduct this motu proprio inquiry. To dwell more on this issue, we know that the problem confronting your Bucor is the many numbers of inmates and the facilities, lacking of facilities inside the Bucor. And what we wanted is for you to give us an update on the missing PDL named Mark Angelo Cataroha. This issue that being discussed not only in this House of Representatives but also in a lot of media networks had been lingering for so many weeks. And as a matter of fact, this was reported being missing last July, I think 15 or 16. So it will give us more knowledge and we will be educated on this issue. And to give more clarity, I will be asking General Katapang or the Secretary himself to give us an update on this issue before the members of this committee will be asking their
So yan mga ka-review, ang issue po dito yung missing person, di ba? Yung missing PDL. So baka naman yung sagot nila mamaya mapalayo dyan, di ba? Kaya klaro lang po natin mga ka-review na yung issue po na tinatalakay nila dito is about doon sa yung nawawalang preso. Yan
the queries. So we will be answering this.
Thank you, Your Honor. And first of all, I'd like to thank the members of the House for the very warm welcome given to us. And we believe that this matter under discussion, the resolution filed, is of very utmost importance to all of us, because this reflects on the state of our correction system in the country now. And it is, I believe that the members of the committee are aware that there are many things that have to be done about our correction system in the country right now. Matters which have been ailing our system for the past decades, in fact, and not just the past few years. And these endemic problems have resulted to several what we may call coping mechanisms that have not necessarily been good for the correction system. An example would be the new Bilibid prison in Muntinlupa, which was built to house a capacity of 5,700 people, now housing more than 36,000 people. This is something that is very, very alarming, since it is, as they say, the biggest mega prison in the world, bar none. And because of this, managing this population has been horrific. There's no book written that will tell you how to manage a prison population of this number, of this magnitude. In fact, the world trend now is to restrict prison populations to less than 2,000 people. In fact, many of them are eyeing, many of the experts in the world are saying that 1,500 should be the optimum number of prisoners in any single prison, while we have more than 20 times that number housed in Muntinlupa. I believe that this itself should be a cause for concern for the next few years for this Congress, as we know that if we do not address this problem sooner or later, the problems will get worse. And right now, what we are doing as a
So yan mga ka-review, relax lang po ha, kasi opening statement po yan eh. SOG Buwing Remulla. Antayin lang po natin yung mga sagot nila. Ako talagang atat na rin ako ha, patungkol sa nawawalang PDL.
department
Pero wala po tayong magagawa kasi yan po yung pinaka-opening statement niya.
and as a bureau, the Bureau of Corrections is actually coping mechanisms and doing what we can with the resources given to us by the government. We always have been asking for bigger budgets and bigger items, but all of them end up in the tier 2 of the budget and never given to us properly because the government has other priorities. But even all the experts in the world, even the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, which has studied our prison system, would tell us, all of us here, that something has to be done.
Alam nyo mga ka-review ha? Yung reaction ko lang dyan sa sinasabi ni SOG Buwing Remulla na puro reklamo siya sa budget, no? Ang tanong ko lang, kanino po bang mas malaking budget, ha? Yung kay General Katapang or yung kay DG Bantag mga ka-review? Kasi, di ba, kung talagang seryoso ka mga ka-review, gaya ng ginawa ni DG Bantag mga ka-review, di ba? Kahit wala namang gaano kalaking budget, nakokontrol niya yung takbo dyan sa bilibid, no? Kasi nga, may tapang po silang pinapakita nilang seryoso sila, di ba mga ka-review? Unlike dito po sa Katapang pamunuan ni Katapang mga ka-review, talagang, di ba? Puro lang talaga silang pa-presscon. Di ba? Sa palagay niyo mga ka-review, budget ba talaga ang problema or yung pamunuan talaga ang problema dyan sa Bucor?
About this mega prison that we are running right now, and which is the center of the controversy and at the center of the inquiry being pursued by the House. So with that opening statement, Mr. Chairman, I think that we can set the tone for what ails our system within the new Bilibid prison or the national within the Bureau of Corrections family. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary Remulla. And before we ask the Bureau of Correction to give the, I think the Bucor chief wanted to give us some presentation, on the on this issue. And before we proceed on you, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Congresswoman Ching Bernos and Congressman Bosita. So siguro Mr. Secretary, I will be reserve my questions, but I'll be asking lang is that right that you were telling us that the present numbers of inmates in the Bucor is 36,000?
That would be a fair estimate, Mr. Chairman.
36,000.
21,000 at the maximum security, and then we have around 3,500 in the medium
Minimum.
security, and another almost 3,000 in the minimum security.
So in other words, we have like 41,000 total for the
36,000, Mr. Chairman.
for the whole of the Bucor or the NBP.
I mean, the whole Bureau of Corrections has around 30,000+, 30,000, 30,000, 50,000.
Yeah.
NBP would
Baka ano ba itong mga ka-review? Sila ang namumuno dyan tapos diba, estimated lang pala.
have
36.
almost that number, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman.
Ako nagdududa ako dyan sa estimated mga ka-review Kasi diba may mga nawawala, may mga pumatakas daw. Kaya yan, estimated talagang tawag dyan mga ka-review
very hard to estimate. We have to conduct probably a new head count
Yeah.
because we already imposed a moratorium on the bringing in of new people into the NBP because we cannot really manage them properly there anymore.
All right. Okay. I was able to get some information that the total number of inmates in the whole of the Bucor is 51,600 plus, and 36,000 is in accordance with the statement of our former colleague and now the Secretary of Justice. 36,000 din dun po sa NBP. 30,000 together with the 3,000 for the minimum and for the medium, which is also 3,000. Okay, maraming po salamat, Mr. Secretary, and to the officers of the Bucor. So I will be proceeding to give the floor to General Katapang, who happens to be the Director General of the Bucor. You have the floor, sir.
May I request for a projector so that while briefing the honorable committee, they will be able to understand it better.
The chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Vice Chair Rehencia.
Predicament and how Bucor is addressing the short, medium, and long-term problems that we are now currently facing. This is in line with the our President's Philippine Development Plan. As a background, since the establishment of Bucor since 1905, there were 7 penal farms that were established. This include San Ramon Penal Farm in Zamboanga, established as early as 1870 for Muslims and political prisoners opposed to the rule of Spain. The Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm in Puerto Princesa, established in 1904. The Davao Prison and Penal Farm, established in 1932, and the Correctional Institute for Women in Mandaluyong City.
Ako talaga na mga karibin, naguguluhan ako talaga. Kung ano ba talaga yung issue na gusto nilang iparating dito, mga ka-review. Yung issue lang naman dito yung mga missing PDL. Bakit ganito po yung ba ini-explain pa nila yung history ng ng NBP, mga ka-review. Well, anyway, pakinggan na lang po muna natin. Wala rin naman tayong magagawa, mga ka-review. Pero gusto ko sanang idein, di ba? Kung yung issue talaga dapat, doon talaga sa tumutok para hindi maubos yung oras nila, mga ka-review. Kasi bawat oras dyan na ginagawa nila dyan sa Kongreso, mga ka-review, di ba, binabayaran po yan ng taong bayan. Sayang ang oras po, no?
1935, the New Bilibid Prison in Muntinlupa, 1935, the Sablayan Prison Penal Farm in Mindoro, 1954, and the Leyte Regional Prison and Penal Farm in 1973. We'd like to emphasize that the last prison and penal farm was established or constructed in 1973, and it was no less than the father of this president now, President Ferdinand Marcos. His father, Ferdinand Sr., was the one who established the last prison and penal farm. So it's already 50 years since then that we have been forgotten. And also the data will show that the ratio of correction officers versus PDL has increased. And we are now unable to effectively manage the PDL with the current strength of Bucor personnel. The succeeding charts also show that the current number of PDL in the existing 7 prison and penal farms, including the occupancy and congestion rate, has become so unmanageable. And we have around now As we speak, it's increasing every month of additional 500 or 300 because we release 300 to 500 every month, and yet we absorb about 600 to 1,000 new PDLs. Today, I will outline the key strategies and initiatives that we have done. This includes the short, medium, and long-term solutions and align it with existing laws, providing a roadmap for Bucor's future. Our short-term initiatives focus on quick wins to address the pressing concerns within the span of 1 to 2 years. One of the immediate action was to promptly address the issue of overcrowding in our prisons, and we have begun temporary congestion management measures by existing or expediting the processing of PDLs who have served their sentences and eligible for release. As of this date, we have processed almost 5,000 releases through our Bilis-Laya project, and we have streamlined our processing of documents
Yun mga ka-review, may Bilis-Laya project pala itong si Katapang, no? Kaya pala.
for their immediate release. And we are expecting to release more within the coming months. However, it should be noted that although we release about 500 PDLs per month, we are nevertheless accepting almost 1,000 PDLs per month, new PDLs. So by the end of the year, we anticipate additional 6,000 PDLs. Another short-term action is to redistribute the severe congestion of the NBP to the less congested off-site prison and penal farms. We are exhausting all our available resources as well as coordinating support with other agencies in order to successfully carry out the mass transfer. And lately, we have transferred about 500 PDLs in Iwahig Prison, and then we hope to transfer 3,000 to 4,000 PDLs before the end of the year. We also distributed our women PDL who are equally congested at the Correctional Institute for Women, and we hope to be able to close down the Correctional Institute for Women within 2 years. And they will be transferred to Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm. With the easing of the pandemic restrictions, we resumed the visiting privileges while strictly imposing security protocols. Last Christmas and Independence Day, we organized a visiting privilege where we allowed our PDLs in the CIW to be transported to visit their loved ones because their husbands are also confined or are in prison in the New Bilibid prison. We have also arranged for medical services for our PDLs with the help of our allies. We aim to do more of this in these coming months, and these visits of family members, loved ones, and access to health services are making a positive impact on the well-being of our confined PDLs, no matter how difficult their situation right now. As to organizational reform and enhancement and to improve the overall functioning of Bucor, we are focusing on the following initiatives for the short term. Finalization and approval of the revised Bucor manual in compliance with RA 10575, crafting and development of policies that will support the effective management of correctional facilities, and hiring of competent lecturers to provide training and guidance and change of behavior among our correctional officer. We are also strengthening our personnel management through recruitment, promotion, attestation, and addressing attrition. We intend to promote all qualified uniformed personnel to the next higher rank while we weed out all the scalawags in the Bucor. We are hiring and training our correction officers, and we hired 1,000 correction officers last year. We are currently hiring another batch of 1,000 this year, and we have been approved by a new batch of 1,000 next year. They will constitute the new blood for Bucor in order to regain the trust and confidence of the Filipino people. We will have about 3,000 new correctional officers by the end of 2024, and we hope that this new blood will be the new Bucor that will have an ingrained, or will be ingrained in them integrity, dedication, honesty, and courage to refuse corruption. To address the short-term goals, we also are retooling our personnel for value formation. Likewise, we arrange for non-financial and financial help for our personnel, such as food subsidy, provident fund, and financial assistance, and the creation of the Bucor Cooperative to generate funds and additional assistance to Bucor personnel to eliminate all possible reason for Bucor to resort to corruption. Just
Talaga
recently,
lang ha.
a memorandum of agreement between the Department of Agriculture and Bureau of Plant Industry and the Department of Justice and Bucor was signed. Reformation Initiative for Sustainable Environment for Food Security, or RICE project. This goal is to develop idle lands for Bucor into productive agricultural camps for food production and to contribute to our country's food security, while providing PDLs an opportunity to contribute to their agricultural skills as part of their reformation and preparation for reintegration to the society. President Marcos Jr. himself witnessed the signing of the agreement, being concurrently serving as the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, and has expressed his full support in making Bucor lands a conduit for his whole of nation approach in achieving food security for our country. Next, on our medium development plan, which will encompass expansion of access to parole and probation for certain classes of offenses. We are operationalizing a unified referral and monitoring system for our PDL so that they can go back to society after their release. To align the President's Philippine Development Plan, we have created the Bucor Development and Modernization Plan, which will focus on the following medium-term goals. Transformation of Bucor into a modern facility, which means reconfiguring all our prison compounds, Bucor's land resources. We will implement Rule 6 of RA 10575, which grants Bucor the utilization, control, and penal farm, and they don't have to go far from their relatives. Also, the construction of regional and heinous facilities. We will establish one male and one female facility per region, along with our heinous crime facility for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. For land acquisition, we explore options such as purchasing or accepting donated properties, entering into MOA, and engaging in land swapping with DND for heinous crime facility.
Wala ho kami pakialam kung ang gusto ho natin malaman ngayon at this point, kaya ho tayo nandito, ano ho nangyayari dyan?
Nagkalaglagan na.
So yan mga ka-review ha. Maganda naman pala yung mga ginagawa ni Katapang mga ka-review. Pero bakit ganun ha? Bakit po ganun? Iba po yung nangyayari. Ha? Sa kanyang report, 'di ba? Napakaganda po ng mga plano. Pero bakit iba po yung nangyayari sa realidad? Yan po yung malaking tanong, 'di ba mga ka-review? Kayo po ba mga ka-review ay naniniwala diyan sa mga sinasabi ni Katapang? Well, anyway mga ka-review, ano man po ang reaksyon? Pa-comment lang po sa baba para pag-usapan po natin 'yan. At para malaman din po ng ating mga kababayan kung ano po ang inyong reaksyon na nararamdaman sa isyong ito. Mukhang hindi pa nasagot yung issue no na bakit nawawala yung isang PDL. Yan mga ka-review, yun po yung issue. Pero hindi pa nasagot kasi ba pinagano pa nila opening statement. Well anyway mga ka-review, abangan po natin yan sa susunod. Baka sabihin na. Alright mga ka-review, kung bago ka pa lang at di pa po nakapag-subscribe sa ating munting channel, please don't forget to subscribe. At i-click na rin po ang bell notification para updated ka po sa lahat ng ina-uploads nating reaction video. Like and share din po mga ka-review para mas marami pong mga kababayan natin sa ibang bansa ang makapanood ng makabuluhang balitang ito. Maraming salamat po.